I wish you all the best for joining Auroville, and we need more people like you to join Auroville because, like Dipti was saying, for the mother's experiment, you need a critical mass of 50,000. And we are only about 2,500 today, after 57 years of Auroville. So it means, according to me, it's very challenging to be here. And we have to constantly remind ourselves why we are here. And then in our day-to-day routine work, we forget why we are here. Because we are busy working, we are busy looking after schools, our maintenance of the house, maintaining our health, and all the activities. So I'll just give you a small introduction on my journey, how I came to Auroville, and then we'll move on to question answer session. So my connection to Auroville is from the Sri Aurobindo Ashram in Pondicherry, where I was there from age 4. I grew up in the ashram. I graduated from the ashram school. My parents were in the ashram since 1940s. My father was there since 1930. My grandfather was one of the doctors of Sri Aurobindo and disciple, devotee. And my grandfather met Sri Aurobindo in Baroda when Sri Aurobindo was working for the Maharaja Sayaji Rao of Baroda. And my grandfather was a private doctor of the Maharaja. And it's the Maharaja who introduced my grandfather to Sri Aurobindo in Baroda. So my whole journey of my family begins from Sri Aurobindo's time in Baroda. And then my grandfather decided to come and join the ashram in 1930 because he heard Sri Aurobindo was already here with the mother. And my father grew up in the ashram, and then when we were born in Gujarat, we were brought to the ashram school in 1956. Then for some reason, after 2 years, we went back to Gujarat. We came back for good in 1962, and I graduated in the ashram school. While we were growing up in the ashram school, from 64 till 68, this number of years, mother was planning and discussing with Roger Angers, the main architect of Auroville, meeting her every day, and she was giving her vision on Auroville, the galaxy shape of the city plan. And she chose Roger as the main architect because he happened to be the husband of her granddaughter. And in the 70s, Roger Angers was well known in France as an architect of the 70s style of architecture in France. So he was the right person, probably mother chose for Auroville. And while we were in school, Roger Angers would be meeting every day the mother, discussing on Auroville, and he would come down to our school and give us big sheets of paper and tell us mother is planning to start a project called Auroville, an ideal city. And he told us to sketch as children how we imagine the ideal city of Auroville, and we had to, and what the soul would look like. How will the city be planned? So my connection to Auroville is from the sketching times, use our mind to imagine what's an ideal city, what's an ideal dream of a city, which is the dream of all of us. And mother's project called Auroville, it means the dawn of tomorrow. The word Auroville is the city of dawn. Ville is the French word for city. Auro is the dawn, aurore in French. And at some point, Dipti was talking about the freedom. Mother gave a lot of importance to the word freedom. to give it to children, to adults, but with the idea that freedom goes with discipline. Freedom is not a license to do what you want and lay back and laze around, but use that freedom for the right purpose. So in the school system in Ashram, there were two systems parallel running. And there was a French person called Tanmeda. I don't know if anybody from Ashram is here. He told the mother that he wanted to start a system called the Free Progress. And I was attracted by the Free Progress system, and my father gave permission to join the Free Progress system. So in this Free Progress system, I was 12, 13 years old. No, 11 years old. We had to be in time by 7:45 in the morning, leave for lunch 11:30 and come back by 2, and be at till 4:30 in the school, go back home, be in physical sports uniform, go to sports every day. 365 days of the year we had physical education. All the items that you hear of in the Olympics, we were taught in the ashram. So in the daytime at the school, mother believed that there should not be much pressure to the children. And we go to school for the joy of learning and growing, not for having exams and certificates and degrees so that you get a job outside. So even that system of exams we had in the ashram school until 1970, there were a lot of complaints from the teachers went to the mother saying students are cheating. They would keep the paper under the table and then cheat. So then she decided, she sent a circular to all the parents of the children in the school saying, I'm trying something new, build up new souls of these children. If you want your children to have certificates and degree and exam, there are lots of schools in India, please take them out from here. So she sent a very clear message. So no more homeworks we had at home, no pressure of homeworks at home, no exams, no degree, no diploma. So within the system, I was in Free Progress School for 7 years. And then we had to be in the main central system where teachers would be able to, so the teachers had to make progress reports every month on children's concentration power, attention, discipline, attendance. So there were like 4 to 8 items on which children would be observed by the teachers, and the professors' reports to the parents every month. And in the Free Progress system, what was interesting, we had to be in time, leave for lunch and come back. So we had freedom to choose a subject, choose a teacher, study individually or collectively with 3-4 students with a teacher. So in the first few months for a year, we were 4-5 friends together in the Free Progress system. We decided there was a room called the gossip room. There was a room called the silence room. And there were other teachers available for different subjects, maths, physics, history, English, French, Sanskrit, Gujarati. So the first 6 months, I don't remember now, I was too young, but I spent with my friends. We arrived in time in the school and we just gossiped. We spent 6 months gossiping, enjoying, discussing amongst friends, till the day we realized ourselves that it's enough. Each one individually realized that, okay, it's enough. It's not a good thing to just gossip, but study also. So then I studied in the silence room. I decided I wanted to learn maths, physics, and chemistry. And it was amazing the fact that I spent in the gossip room and suddenly now in the silence room. I was surprised that I could enjoy even those classes with discipline with my teacher on physics, maths, and chemistry. So I'll never forget that experience I had between the gossip room and the silence room. And we had the key to the free progress system department in the school. Even to come back in the evening after the sports, after 7 p.m., we could open the classrooms and enjoy doing painting or studying or reading. So we had that freedom to be there till 9, 10. And we also had the discipline that every child would come in the morning at 5 or 6 a.m. to clean the classrooms, to clean the tables and the chairs, so that we understand the value of cleanliness and participation in keeping the whole department of free progress system clean. And thanks to the mother, there were a lot of French friends who would come to visit the mother, and they would give us talks like Bernard Bock from Sharanga, who remembers? Yeah. He and two others, they came to teach us in the school on, I don't remember what topics. But, and then she would have sports experts from Germany or France who would come and teach us special sports. There were Americans who would give us special classes on tennis in the tennis ground. So for me, this school where I grew up is a result of who I am today. And when the teacher who started this free progress system was very happy to learn that all his students from free progress system moved to Auroville. So amongst those who grew up in that school is Joy, myself. Our teachers was Jean Legrand, Pierre Legrand, Gopi. And there were other ashram people. Jean-François Gauthier was there from the ashram who moved to Auroville. So between 64 and 68, there was this whole project movement on mother was busy. She formed a committee to go all over the world to do fundraising to purchase lands of Auroville through the Sri Aurobindo Society. So they traveled all over the world to get funds to purchase. And believe it or not, we should be all grateful to the great-grandparents of the 5 villages that surround in Auroville, who helped the mother and Sri Aurobindo in the ashram. Even during the pre-independence period of India, in the French colony was there in Pondicherry till 1954, and finally they left in 62. So between 54 and 62, all the goods needed from Chennai for ashram community, for the dining hall and food and all the grocery items, it was the village panchayat, the village headmen from Kulapalam would go and give wood and all other items, because there was a customs border in Muchalpet, because they were going into a Pondicherry colonized town. So, and they were very open to the mother and Sri Aurobindo's existence, and they helped to purchase land for Auroville for the mother. So thanks to all the Tamil community here, and thanks to all your great-great-parents from Kulapalam. I don't know how big those villages were that time, but we should be all grateful. And mother did say in the agenda and her write-up that the first Aurovilians are these Tamil people whose grandparents have helped her to purchase the land. So they are the first Aurovilians, naturally. I recommend all of you to read a book. It's called The Mother on Auroville, published by Shyam Sundar. Shamsundarji he was also a devotee of Sri Aurobindo and Mother in Pondicherry, and he lived in certitude till the day he died. And today that house of Shamsundarji is Chandresh, who was living there. So that book has all the details of how Mother envisioned Auroville, what is the ideal to be an Aurovilian, and how Auroville should function and evolve. At the same time, she gave 100% freedom for Auroville to experiment. So when you use the word experiment, it means you are a researcher. All the scientists work on experiments in the laboratory of research. So I look at Auroville as a platform of research. It's a lab for research. We are all researchers and seekers of higher truths and your own truth, who you are. Excuse me. And Mother put to task the ashram people made the roads, made the amphitheater of Matru Mandir, organized the inaugural ceremony in 1968, 28th February. And the committee who did fundraising also did the communication work with all the embassies of the world in Delhi, requesting them to select one man and a woman to represent their country and bring the soil of their country for the inauguration ceremony. So there were many countries who were absent. So Mother chose students of the ashram who would represent those absent countries. And I happened to be selected to represent Syria. And I will never forget that day. We were like 50 buses from Ganesh Temple, Nehru Street, full of 124 countries delegations. And I was part of the Syria delegation. And we went on the bus from Nehru Street, Jipmer Road, from the Edin Chavedi Road. And that time, from Certitude, it was straight entrance to Matru Mandir area, the amphitheater. And there were no trees that time. It was just barren red earth. You could see the ocean and the blue sky. And I used to cycle up every day before the inauguration. And sometimes I would come with Prem Malik and Roger Anger in the car to prepare the ceremony. And I remember the banyan tree was very small, and next to the banyan tree there was a pond. I think, Varun, you have those details on the pond and the photographs next to the banyan tree. Yeah. So I was busy with helping all the women from the surrounding villages who came to help Roger Anger do columns in the circular pond. And then we put water. And till 27th February night, I was with Roger Anger and the women, Tamil women, and the committee of Sri Aurobindo Society for the final opening ceremony next day. So I came home at 10 o'clock at night, and I didn't know I was going to represent Syria. My dad gave me a letter from the school saying, you have been selected with another boy, Tarun, and to represent Syria. So my mom gave me her sari, and next morning I was supposed to be at the Sri Aurobindo Society office next to Ganesh Temple, get on the bus and come to the ceremony. Now, for me, that ceremony is till today, it's unforgettable. Imagine on a red earth, just a banyan tree and no trees, about 10 to 15,000 people aspiring for this vision of Auroville on human unity in diversity, create this project. Every representative with a flag of that country, and if the soil didn't come from that country, we had to put salt. So I put salt. My friend Tarun, Bengali boy who was with me in the school, he put the salt and I was carrying the Syrian flag. And all the organizers were from the ashram. And you can see the black and white photographs of the first day of ceremony. It is in Kalakendra. It's a permanent exhibition. On the first day of Auroville, you must go and see with the text and photographs and the number of people who came and the list of countries and the list of representatives in which, of course, my name appears with Syria. And when I was holding the flag and going up that urn, no, till the urn, there was mother's music going on and mother's message reading out the charter of Auroville in English and French directly from her room in the ashram by radio, broadcasted while we were doing this ceremony. And we had a meditation. So for me, it moved me so much, this opening ceremony, that I decided this is going to be my place, whenever that would be. I was 16 that day. And of course, my father didn't allow me to join Auroville straight away. I had to complete my education in the ashram. So in 77, 1st November, I moved to Auroville. And at that time, I was 23. And it was a new life, quite a tough challenge to leave my parents, my brothers and sisters in Pondicherry. And especially as an Indian woman, you must know the Indian tradition. A woman never leaves home until she is married and goes to her husband's house. So there is no free path for a woman to be herself, for herself, and find herself as an individual. So I wrote a letter to my dad, why I want to join Auroville. And that letter is available in the Auroville Review issue number 1, my letter to my parents. It was published in the Auroville magazine. So till today, I share that letter with all my friends, all young women, to understand why I joined Auroville. So I would say I was a rebel from my childhood. I always wanted from my childhood to do something new and different and be in a challenging project. So in 1977, I moved to Auroville, and in between 1968 till about 82, 83, it was a very strong collective experience in Auroville. There was no individual. The dominating character of first 20 years of Auroville was collective. You learn from scratch. I mean, for me, it was really a learning. Till today, every day you learn something new in Auroville.